It's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
to anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
The world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee-da-dee. A fwit-dee-dee-dee-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
You know, even when it's a grumpy day, that little jingle is adorable, isn't it?
It's very cute.
Bing, bing, bing. It's hard to be like, when it's like,
It's hard to be a grumpy gnome. Like you could be an evil gnome. Not saying that I know any.
we're all evil gnomes. Hey guys, welcome to Mab Labs. It's where I get crafty creative here in the Mab studio with friends, and we work on projects, but we really like to feature artists and makers and people who are trying to generate revenue with their creativity and just getting creative in this world, because you have to. And you got to challenge yourself. You got to kind of think outside of the box. And I think having a craft project that you are putting out to the world to appreciate is a way of keeping yourself from turning into the lump rock that lives underneath the blanket
who
on
is
the couch.
just caffeinating to
Yeah.
get a paycheck.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, we want to generate revenue with what we do, but we're not doing it for the paycheck. We're doing it because we have no choice. In my case, I have no choice. But if I don't make things, my brain and body and soul will explode into a fine.
We don't want that.
No. So, and speaking of pink, this camera, so I had to retire my blessed laptop. And it's I can't get the camera to work on this one. So this is like the one that's like built into the body of the laptop. And so I'm like shades of pink and purple.
Purple's the new skin tone. Yeah. That's fun.
So hi there. Welcome to the show. We got Z from Tabletop Teas, one of our sponsors actually of Nat 21 Adventures, and definitely a very creative and cunning individual. And I'm trying to find, I did very bad pre-show preparation for this. So tell us about your thing tell us about your amazing teas while I do.
Yeah. Well, you look up the questions. Oh, cool. Yeah. So for those who don't know me, and is there anyone here who doesn't know me? I'm Z, sometimes cast member of Nat 21 Adventures. But when I'm not doing that, I have a tea business called Tabletop Teas. And as the name might imply, it is teas that are inspired by tabletop RPGs and other geeky things. I mean, there's other geeky things in there. So they're all loose leaf tea blends, and they're all blends. I don't sell any like single source, single variety teas. They're all blends. Because I'm like, you would just go, I don't know, go wherever and get your English breakfast. Go. That's a blend though. That was terrible.
What it is.
Ceylon. Yeah, and just like get a Ceylon or get an Assam. There you go.
It's an old image I found.
So yeah, that's what I do. That's my business. I do conventions. I have a store online, but I do conventions and markets too.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Can you type in the
it's tabletopteas.com. It's so hard to remember.
So you're gonna make me type that in? God damn it, woman.
All right, I can do it.
Tabletop
Teas. Who's faster? Oh, it's gonna be
.com. I don't know if that'll actually work.
One way, like a symbol.
At least yes, there is a goblin tea. So Victoria in London Fog, if you haven't been to her website, I actually spend an embarrassingly long period of time on that site because I look at all the different ingredients in each and every tea because there are certain notes and elements and flavors that I just really can't get enough of. And if I was to describe my perfect tea, it would be a tea that tastes like pipe tobacco smells.
Which is Old Toby.
Do I have Old Toby?
I don't know. How am I supposed to keep track of what you have?
Damn it, Z! Why aren't you taking daily?
So that was going to be one of the ones that tea blend has a story behind it. But do you want to talk about stories, or do you want to talk about Tea Adventure Club first?
Okay. We can talk about a couple of. We've got like an hour, and this is the thing. So we can really talk about whatever we want. This is Mab Labs, so I'm Mab, and that means I get to
And this is your
make
lab?
the rules. So it's all about Mab science here, and Mab science is the maddest.
Off the wall.
But
So
what sparked me, you're right. So you're right. Let's do this. What prompted me to say, oh my God, let's get Z on the show is because Z does a tea of the month club, right? And has a gift that comes along with this special tea. And she reaches out, and I love you for this, to independent makers and artists to include something that they make in this monthly order. And she reached out to me for the next shipping, not the one that's going out tomorrow, but
it's going out tomorrow. Absolutely.
I want to say next month, but I don't know
something
what
else
month
is going out.
in.
Yeah, something else is going out this month. We'll do Mab next month.
I am loving the process. So and I was like, as we were having this conversation, I'm like, let's absolutely have this conversation on the show, because it kind of peels back a little bit of the curtain. It talks about some of the things that we have to think about when we're thinking about our shop, our product, our brand. And there's the expenses of things, and then there's so many factors. So I thought I would let you guys in on the backstage conversation.
Yeah, this is like one of those rare behind the scenes, which I like. It's BTS. BTS.
So tell me,
I don't. Yeah. So for people who don't get the tea, so I have a with gift and without gift. So if with the gift is out of your budget, you can just get the tea. And every month I pick a tea, and it's when you do the Tea Adventure Club, they it will be some of the teas that I have in the store. So it's a good way to try blends you might not usually pick for yourself. But it's also a place where I get to because I cannot keep in stock all the teas that I have ideas for. So in fact, I've just retired a whole lot of blends because I don't have the money, the bandwidth, or the space to have 62 teas in my house. And so, but for tea of the month, I'll make some of those teas. You'll get limited runs or exclusive runs. So it's fun. So in the store, when you get a 1 ounce, the 1 ounce looks like this, right? It's in this cute little unicorn bag.
And that's kind of what I do for like my little sample. I want to try it.
Right. Now I do sell a sample, which is half this size.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I hate filling them. They take literally the same amount of time and energy to fill as this guy, but they're more annoying because they're smaller. And so I don't really make hardly any money on a sample. But if in the Tea of the Month Club, your tea comes in a tin like this. I have customers who put magnets on the back and then will stick them to their fridge, or one of them even got a magnetic board to stick their favorite to, which is like so smart. So yeah, you get them in these. And then if you have just the tea, then you have just the tea plus a little note from me. But I also pick gifts, and like Mab said, I try to, as often as I possibly can, do independent makers. Sometimes it's too difficult, but I would say most of the time, 8-9 times out of 10, I'm able to work with small businesses and independent makers, which is one thing I love. And I can do show and tell.
Hell yeah, that's what we love here.
I have some leftovers from Tea Adventures past. I figured you could get an idea of like the things that I have done.
Show and tell.
So like this is a salt scrub.
Oh my gosh. Salt and tea. Hot bath.
I am very big on like experiences too. Like, and if I can ever come up with something or put together something that's like, you're going to have tea and use this thing or do this thing, I'm all there. I sometimes I get goofy And these are actually, I got, this is such a dumb one. So the place that I order my business cards from, they were like, there you go. So I have I make a tea called Saka. And I order my business cards and they were like, you're like one of our favorite people. You've ordered from us so much. You like have earned these points to like do something. And I realized that I could get some of these like super cheap. And so it was like, yes, it's tickling my brain to like be able to put some any beverage whatsoever in there. But that went out with a Saka too.
Okay, I need to know, what do you call those?
Koozies?
Koozies, that's what I call them too. Some people were like, I don't know, there's another
house
name.
Coats for bevies. I don't know.
House coats.
Let's see. This is a little, and now this art, so the teas that I have had that are in the Supernatural were from another store, a friend's store. But she decided she was no longer going to sell teas. And she gifted me the recipes. I tweaked them for me, but this is all the artwork that she originally had done for her tea labels. And so I took those and I had them put onto sticky notes.
I love it. Those
I know, aren't they adorable?
They look. Oh, is this the same artist that did Reverend Tommy's?
No.
Oh,
but they do look similar. That is,
yeah, it is very similar.
I had this image on a mug too, just the four of them wrapped around on a mug.
Perfect mug design.
The two actors each have a mug, and they've all gotten their blends. So Amy, who's sometimes on the channel, and she and her husband have the 3D2U. So I had two ideas. I was like, I want to see if we could do like teacup and a saucer. And my thought was that like I would glue them together and then like the next month send like parts to build like a little fairy garden. But then I also had this idea where I was like, I really want a because I was sending out my Sherlock tea, and I was like, I have this weird thing where I want a magnifying glass, but I want it to be a bubble blower.
That's brilliant. I love that.
And so I had her print up like mock up one so I could see what they would look like, right? And I just happened to have this sitting in this cup on the table, and my husband came by and was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And he's like what is this? And I was like, it's a bubble thing. And he's like, oh, does the bubble stuff go in the cup? And I was like,
it does
now. So this is what got sent out, was this whole thing plus a recipe for bubbles, so you can have it's very mad.
It's bubble tea. It's bubble tea.
It's bubble tea. So I love this one. That just turned out so fun, kind of on accident. But you want to know what my favorite one that I've ever sent out is, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I asked you before the show, and I said, "Wait, don't tell me," because I'm going to ask you.
I can tell you now. So it starts with this incredibly cheap.
Yeah, it's a little watercolor thing.
Yeah.
Probably from the dollar store. Or
I was able to get these fabulous, already pre-drawn, and they're on like amazingly good art paper. And so I was able to send out 3, and they're all like, there's a bunch of different ones. The artist sent me 22 copies of 27. I don't remember actually what it was, but a bunch of copies of all of her work that were in this like kind of fantasy. I have fantasy ones, and I have her like garden ones.
I love it. I would love to paint.
And them. I love that she had these because I thought these are just the right aesthetic for like my peeps.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, you could make a cup of tea and like paint some art, and it's good enough that you could then frame it or like whatever you want to do with it, I guess. So I loved that I got to be able to do this.
That is a nice. Now, let me ask a hard question though. For this one and then the last one, shipping can't be cheap for that.
Yeah. Okay. So I do have to, I have to take into account how much shipping is going to be.
Yeah.
So with stuff like this, or like if I do soaps or something that's heavy, I often, because when you go through the shops, they often have it priced assuming you're only going to buy a few, right? And so after that few, they're just multiplying the shipping. So I'm often able to either get a deal because I'm buying it kind of in bulk, either on the shipping or on the product itself. But when I am shopping for a product, I have to keep in mind that that the shipping that my customers are paying is only to get it to them.
Right.
So I have to, in the price of the gift, consider how much it takes to ship it to me.
Right.
And
how much
I do. Yeah. So there's a bit of math. It's juggling. This is where I juggle, right? So like this gift was more than the cost of the gift for the month, right? But the one before that, actually, I think I might have one, or I don't.
So sometimes you'll take a loss, and sometimes you'll.
Yeah. So this one was the gift before it.
Oh, that's really
and it's a perfectly nice pen. Yeah. Like I really love it. But so basically, this was a little bit cheaper. Together, it works out in the wash.
Gotcha.
So I just try to balance it that way. So I'm like, I tell people all the time, like, hang with it. If you start and that like pen is your first gift, and you're like, what's up? I'm like, hang on. Like it will.
Got a sticker.
But it's the other thing is getting people to understand. So I sent out these stickers, right? And I think everybody, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody's here who gets them, I think everybody got 2 of these stickers.
Those are cute.
Aren't these adorable? And they've got this like this one.
I know it says what the fuck, but he looks pretty fucking gay there, and I
right. So they were
that.
all the characters and their phrases. So the rut-row and jinkies, zoinks, but Fred doesn't say anything. So the joke is,
what the fuck
says that? Yeah. Is that stickers cost more than you think that they do?
I know they do. As a person who started up a sticker company, I shopped around, and if you're seeing a sticker for $6, you know that sticker costs $3 or $2.80.
Yeah. So I can't so sometimes like you got to be like, I only got 2 stickers, but it's like those 2 stickers were probably sold for $5. I got a deal on them for $4 a piece. They're like, that's in the gift budget.
And it's as a person who's made stickers by hand, it is a laborious process. And the sticker companies that you send them out to print for you, they're not cutting it by hand.
No,
they have a
they're
machine
laser cut.
that's cutting them. It depends on the company. Now, back in the day when I used to get stickers for shows and whatnot, it was, you had to pay for the dye.
Yeah.
To get them die cut. But they kept the die on file forever once you made that design.
Right.
And so if I was to get another die cut sticker from the company, I would very cunningly use the same outline and push back if they tried to charge me for another die. I'd be like,
I can tell you that this was printed by the person.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Because they have to hand laminate it.
So yeah, I try to do as good as I can, because sometimes I can't handle a product or see a product. And if I can order like one ahead of time, I can do that and see if I'm gonna like them. But sometimes it's a bit of a gamble. And I have to. You like the pen? You got into collecting pens a few years ago. Yeah, I gonna date myself here. I used to have a denim jacket
We all
that
had the
was
denim jacket.
covered in pins.
We all had
And
the
I'm
denim jacket.
back round to wanting that in my life. So it was a bongo jacket, by the way. It was a bongo jacket.
Wow.
Waist cut, so it was like kind of demi cut.
I had an
Covered.
Eisenhower army jacket
Nice.
that got in a closet, and it was wool, and I loved it. It was lined. So it was like kind of satin, and it was sitting in the closet, and the bottle of bleach tipped over, and I didn't know it. And the bleach leaked out from the cap, and it was, had eaten through the wool. Ate through the wool. And I was like, well, I could patch it. It just was never the same. Never the same. We lament.
I am a goblin in real life, you guys. You're about to find out. I don't even remember why I took it out of my mouth. I had a piece of candy in my mouth, and I had to take it out for a reason. I had no place to put it, so I put it in the breast pocket. I forgot about it.
Okay.
And it was like a few weeks later that it like had started to like ooze through. So like one, you couldn't get it open at all. There was just, you couldn't get it out. It had just fused in there. So I had all these pins and this one weird, like hard, round, reddish.
Oh my gosh.
This is great.
Y'all,
yeah.
Okay, you're making me think of a story, and I'm going to try and tell this as bullet train as I can.
Oh, it sounds like a great time to have tea. Yes, go.
When I was a little girl, like really little, like 4 or 5, I was told not to go to sleep with chewing gum in my mouth because I could fall asleep and choke on it.
Yeah, okay,
well,
that's fair.
That's great advice. So I took the chewing gum and I stuck it on my chest and I went to sleep. And I woke up and it was all stuck to my little nightie. Okay, that's all I had to. You just made me think of it.
I am glad that we are like the same flavor of goblin.
Yeah. Well, honey, I've been goblin. I'm a professional goblin. Let me tell you.
It's true.
I do mean that literally.
I'm an amateur.
So, okay, you've got me thinking about things after giving me the tour. And I know we went back and forth, but we did this like on chat and we didn't get a chance to have conversations.
No.
So now you're sparking some stuff in my head that
You know what the tea is going to be. They don't.
Yes, I do. And I am like, okay, what we had originally talked about is great. And I still kind of want to make that for you. But I want to make something a little more interactive. Like not necessarily a puzzle, but like a 3D sculpture thing.
All right.
Or I don't know. Because it's like the watercolor thing. And I'm thinking like the material that we can use. I actually have some leather that I can run through the cutting machine, like thin leather, and I have thin wood that can be painted. So like, those like dinosaur puzzles.
Yes. I have done a few in my life.
Yeah. Not necessarily that, but maybe something that we could come up with. Or me.
This is how it went. So for those who don't know, I live stream on Twitch, but I do gaming. And right before I all start it, I always say meep in the chat. So.
Welcome, Psychonic. That's a great name.
Psycho Inc. Yeah. I just sigh. You just call him Sai. I know. I wish you could see it through the other camera. The other camera that wouldn't stay like sat up because the colors are gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thanks.
Everything has got a weird like purple haze on this.
Yeah, I've got a lot of art. If I see a lot of art and I just something like that's like a picture in a calendar, I like it. I stuck it on the wall. That's a thing I made.
I own a lot of art that I have not put on the wall.
Same. That's this pile over here.
Yeah,
Embarrassing.
Mine's like, yeah.
And then this is interesting. BLF is saying that they have to have tea by like required at all times.
Oh,
and I'm like,
that would be me. I mean, your name sort of says it, right?
Well, I'm wondering
when I was still working in my professional field, before COVID and before I got long COVID and chronic fatigue and all that kind of stuff. I was the director for visitor engagement at a science museum.
Right.
And that job required me to be running kind of all over the place, doing multiple things all the time. And tea is a requirement for me, right? It's going to be there in the morning. It's going to be there in the afternoon. It's just going to be there. But it became a long-standing joke because I would get busy, set my tea mug down somewhere, walk off, do something else, then realize I didn't have my tea and I didn't know where my tea was. And it could have been in the offices. It could have been up at the like front, the guest like ticketing booth area. It could have been in an exhibition room. Like that's what a hot mess.
And people are like taking pictures, like,
right? What is it?
You know, this postmodern.
So there was a code on our walkie-talkies for. Z has put her tea down and doesn't know where it is. Everybody find it.
I just thought of a thing.
Oh God.
It's not, it's a good gift. It's a really good gift of the month thing. Oh my God, it's so good. But it is not for this tea.
Oh, I could change the tea. It's improv. It's tea improv.
Oh, it's such a good one.
Oh no, I'm curious.
And we can't tell what it is, right? We can't tell them what it is until they
I mean, they're not supposed to know. It is a surprise gift.
Well,
I don't know how much you want to bribe us to like spoilers.
Where's our tip jar?
Yeah, a tip jar. Here's a tip.
I think there
Don't
is.
give up your day job.
Banners.
It's true. Yeah, no. Caffeine's important.
We got this banner. We've got.
Oh wow.
This banner. We've got this banner.
Yeah.
And then there's this banner.
Back to this one.
Oh, there's no like a little ticker. Oh, I see what they did. Oh,
have they changed the back end?
Yeah, it's kind of faster.
Ooh.
Ooh. Hey.
Oh, what are we doing?
I got this. Look at that. It's a ticker.
That's cool. But I have a coffee account.
So rude. How do I? Oh, there it is.
Well, it's not my fault they named it that. It's like buy me a coffee, but don't.
Oh my goodness. I will say I am unusual in that I do go both ways.
Yes, my husband goes both ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's a surprise to no one, but I do coffee daily and tea for the times that tea.
The times.
the times that tea is required.
I was like the Times crossword.
But I had to switch to decaf, and I'm very grateful for your assistance on making that possible.
I'm drinking a decaf right now.
Decaf.
But not one of mine.
But it was like when I was recovering from surgery, I think. They were
like, that you had to do that. Yeah, that's when you were like, can you do Dark Elf? But
that's it. Yep.
Decaf? And I was like, I actually think I can. And I did.
You want to try?
I have realized that I can do second breakfast as a decaf too. So I think I will probably also because there are more people looking for decaf, but they don't want tisanes. What's a tisane, you might ask?
I was just about to say, the what?
So a tea has tea leaves in it. Leaves from the tea plant.
If where you're going with this.
If it's just chamomile or like yopon, then it's called a tisane or tisane.
Well. Look at the big brain on you.
Well, I have to kind of know my product because it says it on some of my labels, right? It'll be like a something tisane, and people will be like, I've just said it 3 different ways. Oh my gosh.
You guys, we're going to have a special guest. Very limited time.
Hello. Look in the mirror.
Look in the mirror. This is not murder, to be crystal clear. This is someone who looks a lot like him. But his name is...
it would be.
He's very different. He's a very shy boy.
Hi, Booby.
We have adopted a very shy boy.
Very shy. Oh, no. Poor thing.
He's got the best life. But he's got a good life now. He's got zoomies. He's got toys. We play with him. We love him. And he's so sweet. We call him Max.
Yeah, Max.
The blue Max. Because he's a Russian blue.
Oh, the problem is from Yellow Submarine.
I don't know that reference.
There's the blue meanies. So in Yellow Submarine, there are the blue meanies who are the Nazis.
No.
But there's one of them who is just there. His name is Max. That's why I was like,
aww.
Yeah.
No, I think Blue Max was I don't even know the reference, but we were, kind of idly surfing the rescue cats, and we both stopped dead in our tracks and saw this guy.
Like that one.
Oh.
Aww.
And he's a special needs, not like anywhere near, he's not paraplegic or anything, but and we're suckers for taking care of spoiling people and cats, and so we fell for it. We adopted a little friend. But hopefully he's going to turn into a love monster. Love monster. This is his very first appearance on that 21 channel.
Ooh, yay.
Ew.
That's exciting.
So I'm thinking, because I do crankies and I flat pack.
Yes, crankies.
I'm just saying. And I also make some other things that are textile crafty based.
Yeah. So you're thinking, okay. So would it be like a cranky kit?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That could be cool.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I like sending people like art thingies to do.
Right. Exactly. And then you and I can craft what the scroll that's included.
I'll have a stand-in pair of hands do it. My hand, I used to embroider and I used to sew, and do a bunch of stuff, but I have a hand that is fairly non-functional. It's my gaming hand too, which is not ideal.
Right.
Tea luckily doesn't involve a whole lot of fine motor skills. But I could try.
It actually goes together really easy.
Oh, good. I like easy.
It's like 4 pieces in a back.
I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of a cranky kit.
I can crank them out. Oh,
but And there's no reason it couldn't go with the tea.
Ah, well, if we work on the scroll that goes in it and write a cute, that's going to take some time. Let me, I can count how many I have in my inventory right now.
Woohoo! You guys see behind the scenes.
I mean, not right this hot second.
No, that's right. Yeah.
But
that sounds fun. And it would be something different for sure.
Exactly. And it comes with a little zine that says how it's put together.
How to put it together, yeah.
And a little bit, of back.
You have to intuit how to make it.
It's really not that hard to put together. I don't have any on me to show you because they're all back with my stuff. I only have
fine. I know what they look like. You guys can imagine. You've seen Mab do her crankies. Yeah. We started off with grumpies and now we're on to crankies. It's great. All the emotions.
So yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of tell me a little bit more about what you are looking for in the Tea Adventure Club.
I mean, I'm always looking for. I've done I did little like small bases that you could put in a car. I've done I did they're like Altoid tins that people have redone for dice tray things. And I found one where it was they had them for different D&D classes. So I found one for monk and I paired it with my monk tea, which is a retired blend now.
That's kind of cool. I don't know if you've seen this design that I did. This is
for the dice tray.
Yeah, this is my dice tray design. And it's a soft leather and you can
just fold and go.
And then, you can cinch it all the way and make like a little bag out of it.
Ouch.
I did a very bad job doing
it. I'm a little purse.
And then, and then if you don't ever want to take it apart, it kind of goes together with this little.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Little
pull the tab through.
With I use the little drawstring as a guide. You don't even need to really do that. But I haven't made these in a while. I guess I kind of got frustrated because I tried using a different material.
Oh, I'm sorry to quad Kevin mowing the lawn. Yeah, I mean, you've waited until a much better time to do it. Because it's mad hot here. And we're not even fully in the summer.
Yeah, well.
We'll miss you.
Apparently lawns grow. And I actually would love to have a lawn that doesn't grow. But
AstroTurf.
No, like one of those like short, I don't know, time. Like a little time.
Oh yeah. I would love like a clover lawn. I have a natural lawn. So it's mostly like natives and stuff that just grow because I don't plant turf.
Neither do we, but we're trying to. we do clover all over the place.
Yeah,
down to 86.
Yeah, down to 86.
I'm sad that I didn't get to swim
today because it's hot here.
And then that's what when you do all the tabs and you.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I like it. And then you're ready to play.
And you can make it a.
Are you ready to rumble?
I'm ready to rumble. I want to rumble. It could
Rumbling.
Be a hat.
Oh, it's a hat. Also, very stylish.
Or like a brooch.
Or a giant brooch.
Or like a pterodactyl.
Oh, you can wear it as a pauldron.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can make pauldrons out of it. We can send people hats for a Tea of the Month Club.
Yeah, tea and hats. Look at all these ideas.
I'm loving it. What else we got? This is like the brainstorm. This is what I was saying earlier. My New Year's show, I was like looking at some of my old episodes when I was trying to explain to somebody what Mab Labs is, because I was reaching out to an artist friend of mine who is not really a geek and doesn't play D&D and doesn't follow our channel. And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I don't play D&D. And I was like, no, that's totally not the point of this channel. This show is all about, doing creative things. And these are some of the old episodes. Like, this is where it featured. And then I saw our New Year's Eve, New Year's episode where I was like, there are no bad ideas. Get yourself out of the box.
Yeah.
Do something that you're scared of doing. And it was kind of nice to rewatch that episode. So it was kind of inspiring a little bit. I
do that sometimes too. I pick up my therapy journal and I go back through and I like all the little mantras that I have in there. And I'm like, oh, I needed to hear that again. Yeah. I needed to revisit that. Perfect
is the enemy of good. That's another thing I like saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My mantra right now, I stole from Vince Conway for people who go to Ren fairs. His is, I have nothing to prove.
I love him. So I got a fun story.
He's my stunt husband, by the way. So Vince Conway is my stunt husband.
Aw. Make some art today, even if it sucks.
He looks very similar to my actual husband. I like make some, even if it sucks, just I don't know, be creative.
Right.
It's a thing that humans have been doing since before they were humans. And I can say that because I have a master's degree in old shit.
Wow.
So here's the story. This is so funny. So for those who don't know, my husband and I used to be on cast at Sherwood Forest Fair. One year my husband was playing a little minor character who comes in at the end. He's this French guy and he ends up proposing to one of the French princesses. She says yes. Okay.
That beach.
It's a big little
hate her.
I love being French. French is though. I love it because you can just, I don't know, you can insult everyone, but everyone's like, but that's so lovely. It's like, and that year he was wearing a blue short tunic. Okay, it's important. But he came up to me, he was like, people keep coming up to me and telling me that I play the dulcimer so well. I don't know what a dulcimer is. And when we finally did meet Vince, apparently people had been coming up to him and congratulating him on his marriage to the French princess. So the outfits that they were wearing that season were incredibly similar, and they do look similar. Like they could be brothers or cousins. We went to go see him at a little venue, a little concert, not at a Ren fair. So normie clothes kind of deal. And we were sitting at a table right next to the stage, and this woman walked by, and she leaned over and went to my husband, and it's like, I think it's so lovely that you're here to support your brother. Like that's how similar they look. So long ago, Vince became my stunt husband because I was like, if I can't find Adam, Vince is a perfectly good substitute.
You're like, I'll hold him up and tell people that he is
right. He looks similar enough. So that's yes. And my child even refers to him as stunt daddy.
Aww.
Yeah. My child is 22 now, by the way. So for anybody thinks I have an adorable
maybe slightly less on, a little bit more.
Know. I have to, because I game with my son on my channel. And I have to make it clear that it is my adult son. Because when I'm like, I game with my son, people think it's going to be like me and my 12-year-old, and it's going to be cute. And no, it is my grown-ass son being completely frustrated with me. It's great. If I can't find him, I'll find his brother.
Bam!
Luckily, the two of them get on gangbusters. They adore each other and like.
So I met Vince probably in 2001
Okay.
at a Ren Fair off of the banks of the Mississippi. So it was in St.
And he
Louis.
still had long hair.
Yes, he did. And he was, I don't even think he was like really touring at that point. He was kind of local. And he never blinked when he played the dulcimer. And at the end of every day, his eyes were so red. And we're like, oh, honey, no.
Breathe.
But he was so cute because he was so young. And he was so intense. He was like, and I'm like, oh. And he was really good even then. And he also played a bunch of instruments, but he, one year he showed up at Pensick and he had cut his hair, and I was like, you've made a life change.
Yeah, it was, he had cut his hair, and that's part of what makes him look particularly like my husband now. But he's good people. If y'all ever meet him, give him a hug, tell him Z sent you.
You tell him Mab said, hey.
And Mab said, blink.
Blink, motherfucker. Blink. All right.
I promised tea, like behind, like the stories behind some tea blends. Do you think we could sneak those in?
Yeah.
Because I haven't even told you about Old Toby. I teased you.
I want to hear about Old Toby, because so that's my favorite tea, is tea that tastes like tobacco smells.
So I have tea blends that are for people. So Dark Elf was actually was the first blend that I created for somebody, and then also sold it in my store. And I created it for my best friend, who is an ethereal creature not of this earth, who just walks among us mere mortals pretending to be one of us. She has a YouTube channel, Opus Elenae, Elenae. So if you want to check that out, she does a lot of like historic clothing stuff, but it's cool to watch, learn stuff. So I did Dark Elf. Then I made Misty Mountain for my mother, because she has always liked black tea with mint in it to make iced tea. So I did that. I made Melange for my husband because he likes chais. And Saka is for my son, who basically is Saka. But Old Toby I did for my dad. And my dad and I are fond of, Lord of the Rings type things. And I already had Misty Mountain, 11 Season Second Breakfast. Second Breakfast was the first Lord of the Rings one I had. And I thought, I want to do something.
Second Breakfast is a great name of a breakfast tea. Just saying.
Which one?
Second Breakfast, because it's like English breakfast.
The story behind Second Breakfast is I actually don't like English breakfast. I think it's too astringent.
It is.
So I said, what if I get the same three regions, get teas from the same three regions, but get maltier varieties and take the astringency down. So I basically created a English breakfast that I like, and that's Second Breakfast. My dad has in my life smoked a pipe. He used to have a collection of like meerschaums. And so that is something I think of when I think of my dad. So that, of course, made me think of how that element played in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit story. And so for people who haven't read the book, I think they might mention it in the movie. They do. Okay. There's Old Toby, and Old Toby is a tobacco leaf that is grown in the South Farthing, but in the Shire, the area of the Shire. And at some point, somebody I think it's Gandalf, refers to it as the finest leaf in the South Farthing. And I thought, I can't remember if it's leaf or whatever, but in my brain, I always remember it as leaf, which made me think of tea. And so then I was like, all right, I'm going to make a tea that has this essence of pipe tobacco. So I was like, clearly I start with some amount of lapsang. So for people who don't know, there's a variety. Bilbo said it. Okay, thank you. I was like, I know it's in my brain somewhere, but my brain is full of holes. And fun facts just fall through those holes and I don't know where they go.
And out my mouth and my butt.
And out my mouth, or
my
sometimes out my ear. Yeah. So you can oxidize a tea in multiple ways, but drying it is the way. But whether or not you are air drying it or like heat drying it, or in the case of lapsang, literally drying it over campfires.
Ooh.
So lapsang is not everybody's cup of tea. I'll say that right now. It's the people who love it, love it. I can't drink it because it gives me migraines. But it is literally dried over campfire. So it is incredibly smoky. There are a series of tea that are considered smoky teas, and lapsang is the most intense. Like it is, you open it up and it smells like campfire. So I was like, clearly some amount of that's going to go in, but not too much. We don't want to overwhelm it, right? And what I did was basically blend that with a bit of vanilla and a bit of maple syrup, maple flavor. Yeah, so that you have that element of sweet and that smoky. And the other teas that I blended with it are all highly oxidized as you can get in a tea. So it's all very dark leaf. And so that's how I created a tea that smells very much like pipe tobacco, but it doesn't taste like pipe tobacco. It's like sweet and smoky.
I'm gonna go check my tea back because I think I did get some of this, but I'm so addicted to Dark Elf that
right.
And I had to cut caffeine
It was
out
my
my
biggest
meat.
seller for a long time, Dark Elf. It's still one of my top 5. Like people really like it. It is a chocolate vanilla currant lavender tea.
It's so good. Maybe I will have some tea tonight.
You want to see the cat? Yes, for everybody who knows that I support I was going to get an actual lumbar pillow. But then I saw this and I thought, why get a
capybara?
With
like an orange on their head. Nice.
Right? Look at him. So that's what I use as a lumbar.
Z Cappy.
That's Cap. We call him Cappy. So over on my gaming channel, one of the things you can do is like my posture check. And part of the posture check is that I fluff the Cappy just to make sure that it's all good. And then
I love it. That's so awesome. So you make tea and you have a gaming channel and you guest on our show.
Yes.
21. And
I don't have the job that I went to school for anymore. So I like to keep myself busy. And the things that I love the most are being social and creative.
Yeah.
And so that's how I tick all those boxes.
I think it's awesome. What is so I think we've got some really good ideas.
We got some ideas, yeah, for sure.
And I think that maybe crankies are in your near future. And I'll check what I got and then I'm gonna make myself a cup of old Toby. It's weed. You know it's weed, right? They're smoking weed.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
They're straight up smoking weed. Okay.
I was like, I know that we've cussed already, and I was like, I don't know how much we can actually get away with in this show.
I mean, with all like 200,000 followers that we have, and
right, yeah, y'all won't tell, right?
Are we cool? We cool? We cool? But thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
And doing some brainstorming.
It's like there's the brainstorm. Oh, it's over.
It's like one of those microbursts.
Right. Oh, they're right. We had a doozy. We were actually at our local game store when we got hit by a huge one. It was big hail.
They've been going through. New Jersey got. I don't know if you heard what happened in New Jersey.
And the parking lot was underwater.
Did you hear what happened at New Jersey Ren Fair?
Mm-mm.
Tents collapsed. Were blown away. Paul and Ansa's cart got damaged.
Oh no!
It was pretty bad. So, yay! Nature.
Weather weirding. Gotta love it.
This is where we are. I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching us conspire.
Conspire.
But and you know the drill here at Nat 21. I'm going to pop this up and say these are the shows that we do. If you have any questions or don't have this thing memorized by now,
minus the Space Jammer.
Oh my God, this is so old. But it should now say decide your personal endangerment.
Yeah.
And then the Gothic horror is maybe. Flash Phantasmagoria is maybe. And the show of the week, that changes every week. So I don't know.
Hence why it's the show of the week.
Yeah. So we know this is a thing that happens on Mondays. Lady Prue's really good about that. And we know that this is a thing that happens but may not happen this week because I think Shakespeare is driving.
Yeah.
I think next week is the wild card, so I don't know. And I don't know. But we got this. That's not a thing anymore.
You know what? You show up and something interesting is going to be happening.
That's a thing. Yeah, maybe I ought to update these. Anyways, thanks again for joining us, for hanging out for an hour while we talked about doing stuff, and holy crap. So let's do it again next month. Maybe with some tea. Thanks.
Find out what we picked, you guys. Get a tea adventure club with gift and find out what we've picked. What did we settle on?
I like it. Let's do that. Let's see. Click. All right. I'm gonna set this outro video and then I'm gonna say good night, everybody. Keep it crafty. Make it weird. Catchphrase.